Can you hear that? That's the last sound of silence we're going to hear for the next couple of hours. We're firing up our mate Patty today. We've got a little job to do, so let's get on. So welcome back, I'm Norm, and this here is Patty. So this is our big 700 weight power hammer of the Massey variety. So we're going to be turning these steel blanks into tea light holders for the Reclaim Railway website that we run. So we're going to go over getting this fired up. We'll light the forge and we'll actually make some parts today. I got a bit of a back order I got to get done, so we're firing up the hammer. So like I said, this is a big Massey. This is what they call a with slides hammer. Donating it the fact that it's got these two slides there. The later models, which I got behind me, is a clear space, which don't have the slides. They've just got a solid ram, and they were called a clear space hammer. This hammer is believed to be about 1911 it was built. We picked it up from a local dockyard in town. It was destined for the scrap. It was about to be smashed up, and we picked it up and we restored it to this condition, went through it. Didn't really need a huge amount of work. We've just done a few bits here and there, some bearings, cleaned it all up, and you know, this old stuff's gold, like they say. It's indestructible, and it fired up and done exactly what it was supposed to do once we got it cleaned up. I got some pictures of the restoration that I'll share in this video. Shows sort of condition it was in, with all the cylinder oil and everything. It's all looked after well. So this being a 700 weight hammer, that is in reference to the weight of the hammer head here, the piston rod and the piston. So it's basically just the weight of the moving object. So all this is 700 weight, and whatever that is in kilograms. As for things we've done to it, we've added an electric motor, this antique motor. There's videos and everything of this on our channel of getting this all plumbed up, wired up, fixed, so that we can run it at the press of a button. When we first got it, we was driving it belt driven via steam engines at local shows and things, and that's actually how we got a start on making these little tea light holders. It was just originally just something simple that we could display on the rally field to show the hammer working. Since then we've been making them and selling them on the store. So it's pretty simple how these things work. You obviously got your power from your electric motor, big 3-phase old motor, and that's belted up to the flywheel, and the flywheel then in turn with a connecting rod pushes a rear cylinder, this being the rear cylinder, and then via this central valve which runs horizontally across through the, well, there's basically an airspace passage from this cylinder to the front cylinder, and in between that is this valve arrangement, which is operated via the lever, and that will either put air through passages to the top of this front cylinder or the bottom of it, which in turn will raise and lower the hammer, and you've got a range of different modes in things you can do. So on the controls you can see you've got notches, so you've got different notches for different events. You've got hold up, you've got not working, Then you've got automatic blows, and then if you drop this lever right to the bottom, you've got full force heavy blows, and there's a hold down function down there as well. This is all attached as well to the treadle, so all that can be operated via the treadle. So as you can see, this is how we operate it when we've got two hands going. So you want two hands in here for this today, so we're going to be operating it with a treadle. I've got it set so if you just lift up on the treadle a little bit, the hammer should rise, and then you're down doing your blows, and then back to stop somewhere about there. So lift to get the hammer to come up, do your blows, and then back to neutral, and it should sit there doing nothing. As you can see, this isn't the original anvil. This is an anvil we fabricated up out of some blow bars out of a quarry crusher, and wrapped 20mm thick plate around it, and the whole hammer's actually in a frame on 25mm thick plate, so that we can pick the whole thing up, move it around the yard, and run it basically. So the original anvil, a lot like this one here, which isn't out of this hammer, it's like the one behind me, would have been set on a foundation. So this would have been down in the ground on a big concrete foundation, and then the hammer would have been lifted on top of that. And the main reason behind that is the more mass under the hammer, the more force from the blows will actually end up in your work. I've got the original anvil over there, I'll go show you that. So this lump of cast steel, or cast iron, well it's probably steel, more than likely steel, is the actual anvil out of that hammer. This is the original one that come with it, but like you can see, is a huge lump to put down in the ground, and it made it too heavy for us to lift it with our crane to take it to show. So we've made up our temporary one, basically just a replica of this, but without the bottom half. I'm leaving the die and everything on this one, so that we can, if we ever do set up permanently, we can use this. But this weighs 3.5 ton, I believe. I think that's what they were. So it's a solid lump. I don't think anyone's going to nick it anyway. So here's a quick look at the difference in the hammers. This is the clear space I was talking about, and as you can see, there's no slides. It's just basically a ram with a packing box, and then that's just your mass is basically your ram. So there's no hammer or anything on the end, and that's the later design. This is a two-piece. This one's a 500 weight, but it would be a much more controllable, capable hammer than the old Massey. But I do like the old one a lot nicer than these. Just looks the part, really. So this hammer hasn't been used since our last video. Bollocks. So we haven't fired this hammer up since our last episode, or last job we done with it, which was forging a damper rod for the Wallace and Stevens restoration. As you can see by the state of that die now, it's been a while since she's fired up, so it'd be nice to dust the cobwebs off and get some of these products made. So first, we've got a few jobs to do on her first, before we can get her fired up. I got her oiled up, but we just got to sort out the lubricator. We'll bring the forge round, and then we'll start making some noise. So first things first, I've been struggling to get this cylinder oil in there. This is a cylinder oil pump. This pumps oil up to the cylinders, believe it or not. Well, this old cylinder oil, I think, is just gumming it up. So we're going to clean this out, put some other stuff in, and see if we can get the pump pumping right. This stuff here is the reason that most of these old things survive, is because it gets coated on all the cylinder walls and all the valves, and just protects it from from rusting away. So this real thick, goopy, horrible oil is normally the saviour of these things. You'd be amazed. You would look at the outside of a hammer when it's all rusty and crusty, and open up the insides, and it's like the day it was made. So we'll get some of this scooped out, take the plunger out, and have a look, see what's going on. Right, so I just took a screw out of here, and this is all just coming out now. As you can see, that doesn't look like the best stuff to be in there, really. Right, so I'm still having troubles getting this plunger to work. I think it needs repacking and things. But what I have managed to do is, if we put the air line in the hole, we can just bypass that plunger and pump the oil straight out the pipe into the piston. So I'm just going to do that for now. This will have to come off and be rebuilt, repacked. But I think this wants the piston repacking. But just for the sake of today, we're just going to carry on and blow it through with the air. So let's get the forge round, fire her up. Took a bit to get her moving. Right, here we go then, oiler's on, just greased that. Cylinder oil's gone in there. It's just Ooh. And there you go. Some completed, finished items. So these have now been through a tumbling process, and they've been finished, given a coat of lacquer to stop them rusting up. And they will come with these little soft pads on the bottom to stop them marking the tables. So that's it, these are ready to go on the store. So we sell these as tea light holders. They take the standard tea light size, but you ain't got to use them for that. You could use them for a little, you know. So you could also use these for in your hamster cage, fill them up with water, little nibbles, all that sort of stuff. I don't know, but that is how we sell them. They never stay around very long. We only ever make them in small batches, mainly to, you know, keep the neighbours happy. We don't want to be doing thousands of these a day. So once they're gone, they're gone. And they will be, as of posting this video, they'll be up online ready to purchase. So if you're interested, you can pick up a piece of forged steel that's come off of our vintage power hammer. Everyone's different, as you can see. You're never going to get two the same, so they are what they are. So that all adds to it, really. It's amazing that this 100-year-old power hammer can still churn out parts. So yeah, I can't say much more than that, really. Appreciate all the continued support on the channel, and I'll see you all next week. Cheers.